Thank you, DeMarkman. I'm so remarkably impressed by you in the short time we've had a chance to chat, and I've heard about your own accomplishments to date. I can't imagine what the future holds for you. I look forward to following your career. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for inviting me to join you this afternoon. I'm really very happy to be here. I've got two jobs. During the day, I make my living as a trial lawyer in private practice in Boston. I've got a firm of 15 lawyers. We are all civil trial advocates, and we go to court, and we argue appeals, and we argue trials, and I love that part of my job. I'll tell you a little bit more about it later. But first, about my second job. This year I have the privilege of serving as the president of the Massachusetts Bar Association. It is the statewide bar association for the Commonwealth. We represent lawyers in every practice area, in every geographic area, of every stripe, creed, color, gender, whatever it is. The Mass Bar Association is your home if you're a lawyer in Massachusetts, and I'm very proud to hold this role this year. I should tell you that the founding of the Massachusetts Bar Association is a happy story. It was founded by Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr., Louis Brandeis, and Moorfield Story. These men founded this bar association because at that time, women, lawyers of color, lawyers of Jewish background, and others who were not white Anglo-Saxon Protestant males were not welcome at the bar, were not welcome in private practice. So these gentlemen did something about it. They started the Mass Bar Association, and from its inception, it has been one to promote diversity and inclusion. In fact, Moorfield Story was the first president of the NAACP. In 1979, Wayne Budd became president of the Mass Bar Association. He was the first black president of any state bar association in the country. He's an absolute rock star. He went on to become the United States Attorney for Massachusetts, #2 in the Justice Department, and his daughter today sits as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Judicial Court in Massachusetts. So we are very proud of them and all they've accomplished and brought to the MBA. Let me tell you a little bit about my background and what I think you all have in store for you in a legal career. I'm a local guy. I grew up in Lexington, birthplace of American liberty. Went to Holy Cross in Worcester, played football out there, was involved in a variety of campus activities. Went on to law school at Boston University School of Law. So you see, I'm really a local guy, a lot of cross-county travel, but I don't get out too much. But it's good because I love Boston. I've been here, I've raised my family here, and I started my legal career here. I was admitted to the bar in 1990, and in the past almost 30 years now, I've worked for large firms, small firms, and now have my own firm of 15 lawyers that I'm very proud of. Why do I love being a lawyer, and what do I think you have in store for you if you choose to become a lawyer? 3 things that make it different from any vocation, job, calling, or profession. As a lawyer, you have privilege, protocol, and passion. Let me tell you what I mean by each of those. Being a lawyer is not a right. Nobody has a right to be a lawyer. I don't, none of you do. It's a privilege. To become a lawyer, you've got to pass the bar exam, which demonstrates your competence. Before you can sit for it, you have to graduate from an accredited law school, which shows that you've demonstrated the intellectual capacity to become a lawyer, and then pass the bar exam, which shows your competence, and then you have to pass the character exam, which shows your character to become an officer of the court. If you do all of that in Massachusetts, you are admitted to the bar in a remarkable ceremony that involves having you come down and sign the scroll of attorneys with a pen on parchment, the same scroll that John Adams signed and other countless noteworthy attorneys have signed in the history of the Commonwealth. When you've signed the scroll of attorneys, you are then admitted to practice law. You obtain a license. I'm carrying mine in my wallet right now. Like any license, it's revocable, because to whom much is given, much is expected. And the people who are given the privilege of practicing law have high expectations imposed upon us. We also have the privilege of being a self-regulated profession. Lawyers who step out of line or are accused of doing so go before their peers, before the Board of Bar Overseers. It's a regulatory group made up of other lawyers and judges, and the rules of the road are the rules of professional conduct that you'll study and be tested on as part of the bar examination. There's due process there. Lawyers have a chance for a hearing. They can be represented by counsel, and they can have a fair opportunity to demonstrate that they didn't violate the code. But if it's determined that they did, then sanctions are imposed by their peers to maintain the integrity of this privilege we have as lawyers. Those sanctions can range from a private reprimand that nobody really knows about but yourself, and that can sting enough sometimes, to disbarment, which is a public humiliation and catastrophe for one's legal career. In that capital punishment sanction of disbarment, you go through the same reverse procedure of having your name stricken from the roll of attorneys, because this privilege is so important that it can't be abused. Now, because you all here are pre-law students, you're showing the interest in taking these steps and accountability already this early in your prospective careers. I have no question that you will honor the privilege. So let me tell you about the protocol you will find if you become a lawyer. It's one of the best parts of being a lawyer. We have customs and rituals that set us apart, that highlight and enhance the importance of what we do as lawyers. For example, when you get sworn in as a lawyer, you will drop the prefix of Mr. or Miss or Mrs. before your name, and you will take the honorific suffix of Esquire after your name. Okay. That's our MD, our CPA. It says we've accomplished something. We have a special status and stature in the community. We have certain responsibilities in society. That's part of our protocol. For those of you who become trial lawyers, when you enter a courtroom, and you're all familiar with courtrooms, you've seen them on TV, perhaps, witness trials. When you step in from the back, you look ahead and you see the judge's bench. In front of the bench is the well of the courtroom. That's where counsel table is and the clerk sits. It's usually surrounded by an ornate wooden fence we call the bar. The only ones who can pass the bar are those of you who pass the bar. So it's really something, because when you get into the well of the courtroom, that is the arena. If you're a trial lawyer, that's where it all happens. Jury's off to the side, the public is behind you, and that is where everything happens. Only we all who are past the bar can pass the bar in a courtroom. The protocol continues in the courtroom because it's presided over by a man or a woman who is the judge, the presiding officer. As a matter of custom, she wears black robe, has a gavel to maintain order. Those are symbols as well as utilitarian objects that help to maintain protocol in the courtroom. Out of respect for her role, counsel never address each other in the courtroom. You've got counsel table side by side. All questions go through the judge. In Massachusetts, we have a nice custom of referring to each other, co-counsel or opposing counsel, as my brother or my sister. It's a symbol of respect and affection for your loyal adversary, your worthy adversary. But it is endemic to Massachusetts, so for those of you who don't practice here, be careful if you use it elsewhere. I tried a case in Nevada once, and my client was in the front row behind the bar, and as I was arguing to the judge, I said, "Your Honor, my brother never raised that point in pretrial motions." I felt someone pulling on my jacket, and my client said in a stage whisper, "You didn't tell me you related to that other lawyer. I never would have hired you." I said, no, my brother, no. They don't play that way in Nevada. But we do here in the Commonwealth, and it's a nice custom. So someday I look forward to calling each of you my brothers and my sisters at the bar, because that's part of our protocol. And that brings me to passion. Being a lawyer requires passion. The job's too important, too difficult, the stakes are too high for you to do it unless you're passionate about it. Here's the good news. You can do almost anything with a law degree. You can find your passion. You will demonstrate through your inquiry and your study and your interviewing and networking what you like the best. And that's what you should do, because that's what you'll be the best at. And when you're the best at something, you're passionate about it because you are impactful. You make a difference. You get a winning record. So find your passion. With a law degree, you could be a business leader. You could be in politics, public service. You could be a trial lawyer like me. And within trial law, there's everything. There's family law, tax law, criminal law, civil law. Within the civil side, there's plaintiff and defense. Within the criminal side, there's prosecution and defense. You can do anything with a law degree from A to Z, literally, adoption to zoning. So find your passion and go after it and enjoy it. Because if you do find your passion, you will thrive as a lawyer. You can have a healthy living, you can make an impact, and you can get up for work every day feeling like it's not work at all. So this is a lot I've thrown at you, and you must be thinking to yourself, well, how do you honor the privilege, master the protocol, and find your passion? The answer is simple. You join the Mass Bar Association. I'm only half kidding, because the Mass Bar Association is your partner in the profession. From the very first day of law school through your last day as a senior lawyer before retirement, the Mass Bar Association has your continuing legal education, has your insurance needs, has your networking, literally has offices in Western Mass and in Boston that you can come set up shop in with your computer, with meeting space and the like. So please take a look at it. For those of you who decide to go on to law school, I understand most of you are pre-law students, you can become a member of the Mass Bar Association as a law student. You can start your networking. You can start supplementing your education, making contacts, getting internships, getting jobs, perhaps getting an opportunity to be licensed as a Rule 303 lawyer and get into court as a law student. We can help you with all of those things, and we want to help you. Because just as I told you back in 1911 when the Mass Bar Association was founded, if a lawyer of color came into the room back in 1911, he or she would have stuck out the way I stuck out here today. That's progress. But you know what's different is you invited me here today. You included me here today. And that's what the Mass Bar Association prides itself on doing since its inception through today. You have a home at the Mass Bar Association. We want to be your partner in your profession. So if I can ever be of assistance to you, my name is Kenney. You can look me up. I'm president of the Mass Bar Association. I'd be happy to talk with any of you. Shoot me an email, give me a call. Come down and visit us at the Mass Bar Association. I can put you in touch with the Law Students Division, because we want to help you. I'm grateful you invited me, and I wish you all the very best in honoring the privilege, following the protocol, and finding your passion. Thank you.